Who wants to bring it in?
I'll bring it in.
Yeah, do
What's
it.
it called? After all
Korra,
these
the
years.
Last Airbender.
That was the title.
No, it's called Korra, the Last Rockbender. That's the name of the show.
Hi guys, welcome back to TV Show, a show on SourceFedNERD where we review TV shows. This episode we're going to be reviewing Legend of Korra, Season 4, Episode 1, After All These Years, and it was just tasty.
It was tasty, but it was also confusing. There was so much stuff going on.
Oh my goodness, where do we start?
Right?
Where do we start?
Why was it confusing?
So I intentionally haven't talked about it to you guys at all.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. Where do we start?
Okay. Well.
What?
I'm in class first. No, okay. I'm sorry.
Well, let's talk about what happened. What happened?
Let's first talk about Prince Wu.
Prince Wu.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's
Prince
hilarious.
Wu.
You
I
kind of
love
want to
that.
punch him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you like his character.
I
but you
love
wanna
in
punch
the
him.
beginning he did to Asami the same thing that I would do to Seychelle Gabriel, her voice actress. was
Wait,
like,
what'd you say about Seychelle Gabriel like 100 times?
I'm just saying, when in the beginning where he's like, what did he say? He was like, he said the worst pickup line I've ever heard.
No, he's like, I'm a human, but just a little extra.
Extra, like superhuman.
That sounds like a pickup line I would totally do.
It really does.
Like, I'm just a
should try
human,
it.
but you know, I
No, you're not even. He's even better than you.
he's even better than me because he's confident. He's confident.
messed up.
He's way too
And he's
confident.
royalty, so you know.
Royalty.
He looks like a leprechaun. Remember that shot when he's wearing all that green on the top
I
hat? He
remember,
looks like a little
and he has like a
leprechaun.
yellow scarf. He
Yeah.
really does, and he's like smaller than everyone, so he 100% looks like a leprechaun.
I know there's only one episode, but by the end of this season, he's gonna change completely. And
Or he
become
might
a good.
die.
He's probably gonna die.
Nah, he's gonna change
Probably
around
gonna
completely.
die.
Mark my words, he's gonna change his personality completely and become a good king.
Oh, you think he's gonna be good?
Good
Or we might end up having no royalty at all. Maybe.
Maybe, but
Maybe.
that seems too likely. It'd be cool if he became a really awesome king.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's what I'm thinking. It's
Maybe.
either that or we have no kings at all.
I'm
Dude,
okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. I think he's gonna die.
And actually, I think this episode was the first time it was actually said that the Earth Queen was killed.
Oh.
They're not. Nick is like, you can't say.
Yeah, they can't say the
murder,
word
killed, anything.
Yeah.
So he
killed.
just basically did the whole
No,
thing.
he said rest in peace though. He said rest
Rest
in
in peace is
She
fine.
can say rest in peace, and before they said she had fallen.
Yeah.
Violently.
Oh, yeah,
But
fallen
they
from
never
her.
actually say that she was.
She met a
had
violent
the
end.
air sucked out of her lungs, and her lungs collapsed, and she died.
Yeah,
It
and
was
all her
really
capillaries
awesome.
popped in her eyes.
And when I saw that, my eyes popped out of my head because I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever." Ooh.
What kind of a relationship was it? Prince Wu is her nephew.
Great.
Is-
He said like
Great
great.
nephew?
Great nephew.
Great
yes.
aunt,
So we have
really?
no idea like where
It could be
is.
any-
They
Anyone.
ran
It
out.
could
They ran out of
essentially be
blood.
anyone.
They're like,
Yeah.
we need to find
There's too
someone.
many siblings and too many kids in
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
show.
He was like, "Who's next?" to
So I guess let's.
Wouldn't you
talk
be
about
so
the-
glad that your great aunt died though? Like,
Let's talk about what happened in this episode just in general. We start off 3 years after the end of season 3. What
Right.
3
great.
years.
Well, it
3
was sad.
years.
It was
sad.
depressing, that ending.
Yeah.
Single solitary tear coming out of Korra's eye.
And now we get to see how the Earth Kingdom is being brought back together by
Kuvira.
and the United what's the Republic City is helping bring them back together, and how
Right.
the Air Nation is now kind of like the
Policing
superheroes.
the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the police of
They're
the world.
literally superheroes. They
They're
have
super
outfits
cool.
and everything.
Yeah, their
have,
outfits are awesome.
they fly
I need
in
to
out
see
of
Tenzin
nowhere.
in one though. I need to see Tenzin in one. Like,
He was
no,
wearing
they-
normal clothes.
oh, I'm too old to get in a suit like that.
Yeah.
No,
And
I want to
Korra's
see.
not even barely in this episode, which
Korra's-
kind of bummed me out.
Yeah, that bummed
But
me
she
out
cut
too.
her hair,
Yeah.
and I'm digging that.
She looks
Tumblr
really
freaked out
different.
about
She had a
that.
black eye. I used to
yeah.
think in the beginning of Korra, like season 1, I was like, man, she's a really good bender. As the show is going on, we've seen that she is not the
There's
best.
people
She's
who
pretty
are way
mediocre
better.
for
There
her
are people who
age.
are way better than her. The
Yeah.
Earthbender she's fighting at the end of the first episode.
I think she was.
No.
I think she's
Destroyed her.
defeated. I think
Yeah.
she's
She's
defeated.
defeated.
And also, when we were watching it, I think you said that it might be an act. Like
think
that
it's
if
an
she,
act.
yeah, like if she was like actually bending the way she bends, she'd just destroy these people, and therefore her identity would be revealed. Because in the end, and the guy was like, you know who you look a lot like? You look a lot like that Avatar. And she's like, I get that a lot. And she walks away. So perhaps she's just, faking it.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the outfits, Thomas at Okisan goes, but seriously, red and yellow pajamas for airbenders? Cool flying, though. Also, Milo the man.
Milo
Milo.
the man
man.
was really, that's cute. It's kind of nice to see him taller and slightly more mature.
Yeah, and he always had a
Slightly.
really big he always had a really big personality, so it was really interesting to see him actually get more of the spotlight. Yeah,
I
and
want to
instead
see
of
him fight
Snoppable.
somebody. That'd be cool.
You want to see him what?
Fight somebody.
Oh, he will.
That'd be
He
sweet.
will. He's scrappy, you can tell.
He always has fought somebody.
He's fought, but it's been like, cutesy kid kind of farting. But
Yeah.
now he's farting. Fighting.
Fighting. That's okay.
But
That
no,
sounds like Milo, though.
I think
yeah.
he did do some farting.
Yeah, he definitely did. That was a part of his airbending.
Man, I'd be so mad if my sister was like the freaking strongest airbender, or like
And the
third
first-
strongest airbender
Yeah.
in the world.
And she's like the first airbending master of this generation.
Yeah.
And you're not.
And
You're
you
not.
kind of just like, yeah, I'm an airbender too.
I'm sweet.
I'm
it was
here.
cool to see Opal and Bolin's relationship because they did get together, but it's tense.
It's tense.
He's like,
It's
baby,
true.
baby, please don't
And-
understand.
And
just
she's like,
with
no,
the
I don't agree
villain."
with you.
Yeah.
And he's like, ooh, I don't like conflict.
He's so cute and sweet. Like when they're in the crowd and he's like, Opal. And she's like,
why? Okay,
This
when you
reminds
talk
me
about,
of you. Opal reminds me a lot of you.
why?
Always mad.
Always mad. I'm not mad.
Why
You're mad
mad.
sometimes.
I am mad sometimes. Like
Like
when I play
most
video
humans.
games.
Like
Yeah.
most
Most humans.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like most of the time.
But speaking of Bolin, he's with Kuvira, which I don't know how to say that name right.
Yeah,
Kuvira, yeah,
Kuvira, which is voiced by Zelda Williams, Robin Williams' daughter, which is really cool. Super, super cool.
It is.
She's a badass.
You can't tell if she's good or evil.
No, like we were talking about this too, is that like the writers don't ever make villains just be just villains. They're not
That's
just
true,
bad.
yeah. Amon had a purpose.
Yeah.
Vatu was the only one that was just
he's
like
just
legitimately
he's
evil.
evil.
Yeah,
So,
embodiment
yeah.
of evil. That makes sense.
In my years of watching Avatar, the way I know if someone is evil or not is if the people that are with them have masks or also have robots. If you
Yeah,
have
she
a
got
mask on
robots.
or you have robots and she has both,
But Asami had robots.
no,
her
but then they turn into
dad-
be really bad people, you may
Yeah.
recall.
Oh, okay.
And she didn't use the robots
Right.
anymore.
Because her father was evil.
But
so.
dude,
And
her
killer robots.
earth bending, she didn't
Whoa.
even move. She beat all those bandits without moving.
Wait,
She
who?
just shut them up. Oh no, Kuvira.
Kuvira.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
She
Kuvira,
beat
yeah.
all the bandits without. She stood in the same spot.
She did.
Ooh,
yeah.
Toph would have
And
one
she-
coming for her.
I know,
Ooh,
right?
that's gonna be
You,
cool.
like if you
She
put that thing over
used-
Toph's face, she'd be like, "Oh, now I
You
have
got
a visor."
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got me. Ooh.
You got the blind girl. Yeah.
Oh,
And she
man.
would have said something about it. I want to get in a fight with her.
We need to.
You might lose.
I want to see you fight her, Reina. I want you to fight her.
I'd lose.
I want you to fight.
I'd
Kuvira.
lose. A part of me is a little bit attracted to her, so I'd lose.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
I
That
know,
little
I
mole
know.
right here. Yeah. Like, ooh,
and I like her ambiguous.
She is almost. She is almost. But she's in a relationship with Opal's brother we didn't know existed.
No,
I
we
think
did. We did. We talked about that too.
Su Yin had like 5 or 7, 20 children.
Yeah.
There was like two of them
Circus
were-
people.
Two of them were like
Yeah.
more athletic, and one of them was artsy. Remember?
Like the
Oh,
Skrillex
yeah.
looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there may
So
have
he's
been
one of
more.
them. He's one of them.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's cool. But I like him. What does he have? Glasses? He's interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, interesting.
But
Nice.
now there was like they didn't talk about it fully, but they hinted to that. I'm guessing that these metal benders left the forces at the I can't remember the
Yin's.
metal bending
The
city.
clan? Yeah,
the
yeah,
clan,
yeah.
the metal clan. They've left and now are like reuniting the whole nation. But they're-
Right.
I don't know. They're not happy about
They're
it.
not, especially Opal, who was like, how could you leave? She didn't say, how could you leave my mother? But she did say something like that, like, how could you betray even? But it wasn't really betrayal because they're all kind of working towards a greater good, or they all have their own beliefs,
Yeah.
but they don't agree with one another. Kuvira is supposed to be, they call her something, the Great Uniter.
The
Great
Yeah,
Uniter.
that is very
I
interesting.
feel
like
so
that's-
much power from season 3 to season 4. I know it's 3
It's 3
years,
years.
but how?
I
Well,
feel like that's one of those titles that you give yourself. You're like,
Yeah.
I want people to start calling me the Great Uniter.
spread the
So
word.
look, I want you to be the first person. Like when we're in this meeting, like when there's a lull, just go ahead and call me the Great
my
Uniter.
God. You
Oh my
know
God,
him,
the
the
Great
Great
Uniter
Uniter?
has a lot of great.
What
gifts
is that
and
that you
parties.
just said?
the
Did
Great
you call me the
Uniter.
Great Uniter?
Don't you guys know the
That's
Great
right.
Uniter?
That's exactly what Kuvira did.
Yeah. Well, I think Kuvira gained that much power because she was second in command. Like, she was Su Yin's bodyguard.
What
right?
is she?
Oh,
Did she
I
do
didn't know
something
about
to
that.
Zahir at the end of the last episode? Of
No,
the third
the
season?
only
No,
reason
she
she got
saved
introduced.
Tonrock,
Yeah, that's
right?
all that happened, and like they gave her way too much emphasis. So you're like, oh, she's
Yeah, they like at the
Yeah.
end they gave like a shot. There was a shot, and we were like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She saves Tonrock, and then Tonrock's all weakened and on the ground, and he looks at her, and the shot pans in on her, and he goes, "Thank you so much. You saved my life. What's your name?" And she goes, "I'm Kuvira."
for
The
5 minutes.
Uniter!
Yeah.
It was actually a 5-minute shot.
As you can tell throughout the episode, there are many who don't agree with Kuvira.
It's very real, like politics. Like
It
People
is,
don't also
yes.
agree with the Earth King coming back either.
That's true. Well, I mean, I get
kind
why
of
a
a
lot of
little-
people don't agree with
the
that.
the Earth.
dipshit.
I think we talked about it, the Earth King Queen has never been. No one.
Yeah,
never
it's
said-
strong.
never
Never
been
a
good.
good
There's never a
leader.
good person there.
No.
Even from
Pretty pointless.
Last Airbender, the Earth King wasn't the Earth King. He was
No.
kind of just
Yeah.
like, I have a bear.
He's a figurehead.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a figurehead, as they
It's true.
said.
Tiana something at
Nakosune.
Tnox30 from Twitter writes, "I'm excited for a Mako and Bolin showdown. That'll happen, right?"
Why would you want them to fight each
Hashtag
other?
trailer predictions. 'cause
I
they
love
watched the
that.
I didn't watch the trailer.
So-
I don't watch trailers
Oh,
because
sorry,
then stuff like that
This happens, yeah, it's true.
Well, they do seem on very opposite. Well, obviously now because Mako's forced to follow around the Earth Prince, soon to be king.
Right.
They
How
are
could
now
he-
on opposing forces. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's Kuvira and then there's the Earth King. So.
That's true. That was really interesting, BT Dubs Mako. I hate his outfit.
You point out that looks like a high school
It
kid
looks
in
like
Japan.
it looks like a gakurang, which is what a middle school boy wears. It's a middle school
Or like
uniform.
a priest in America.
Yeah, it's
Looks
true.
like a
And it
priest.
just
Yeah.
it bothers me so much because it makes him look
miss
so
his
much
hair.
younger. I miss his hair.
I like this.
Oh yeah,
his hair used to be so sexy.
They're all kempt now. They're all kempt. Even
Oh,
Korra
yeah.
is kempt.
No, Korra doesn't.
I think
give a shit.
Korra's like the most
Oh
messed
yeah,
up.
but it is cut, and I do
Yeah, I
like
get what
that.
you mean. I get what you mean. They all got haircuts. All of them got haircuts.
God, I love this episode.
Janora's hair came back.
Yeah, she didn't really want to keep that away.
Yeah, I get that. She
But
looks too much like Aang.
the other airbending avatar was a woman before Aang.
she had
and
hair.
her hair went like back here.
Oh,
she had
that's
like
true.
it was yeah, I guess it would just look weird if we had like a freaking 15-year-old girl with a hairline back here, but you know, she also has a tattoo on her forehead. So
Well-
All over her
I'll
body.
accept either way.
Yeah.
She looks phenomenal.
Who had a tattooer? Who tattooed her to Janora?
Probably
Wouldn't it
her
be
daddy.
Tenzin? Oh.
Why did her dad tattoo her?
She wanted it.
Okay.
Well, it's what
He didn't want
airbending
to.
masters are, right?
Yeah,
The only
you're a master,
it
you
just
get
seems
your
weird that
tattoo.
your dad would tattoo your entire body.
The only reason she made that
Oh, that's
tornado
where
at
we
the
were
end.
going.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where we were going.
Just pointing it out.
Maggie Samick writes, Book 4 premiere Korra left me confused, excited, anxious, happy, and obsessed with all the new haircuts and voice changes. Exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Kai.
Kai is better.
It didn't even go through my mind that his voice is gonna change from being a little boy
Yeah.
to a grown boy.
He's
Much
still kind of
better.
a little boy,
Much
but he
better. I like
sounds
him better
great.
as like a teenager than a little boy.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did mention that.
He's a
Gives him more
good
depth.
character.
He
Who
is.
was it that hated him? I think it was Lieberstein that hated him. I think I kind of did too, but like he's developing to a good boy.
Yeah, no, in the very
Oh.
beginning he was just a little shit. And
Yeah,
then
you could
later,
tell he was gonna
like-
turn it around.
Yeah.
I liked him from the beginning because I liked his interactions with Mako versus his interactions with Bolin. Because Bolin loved
yeah.
him, but Mako was like, no, he's a little thief shit.
Yeah.
You know, so I really liked that, and I knew Kai was probably going to be a really important character
Yeah.
from that.
Plus, he
But-
looks like me if I was in the Avatar world.
Yeah.
You know? We have almost the same hairstyle. I wouldn't have got cut like that though.
No.
I wouldn't have. I would have.
That was some bullshit when they got the thing stolen from like. Wait, they didn't
two
do
airbend.
anything.
What was she doing? What was Opal doing? Oh
make sure
man,
that the
I gotta
bison
drive
doesn't
this
go
bison
away.
that drives itself.
Yeah, Lefty
What-
could have. That's what I was thinking. And
So
also,
she's like, hold on, is there
so
someone on
stupid.
right,
here?
right.
Wait, I heard a plane
Hold
behind
on.
us. There are a lot of planes
and
in
there's
this world.
obviously Lefty is
Everybody
not-
knows all you have to do with bison is say yip yip, and it'll go like, wherever you want it to go.
It's true. Also, the other weird thing that happened, and I mentioned this to you while we were watching it, when Kai's thing gets ripped, so he can't control himself and he's falling, instead of Lefty just going down and catching
No.
him, Opal's
Opal
like,
goes
I'm
and
gonna go,
catches
and she
him.
catches him, and then Lefty
'Cause
catches
he
both of
already-
them, and I don't
and
understand.
then you prove
He
the
already-
point that the bison could have flown itself.
He
Yeah.
already said yip yip, and it
And he
knew
could've
where it
done
was going.
something.
Until a couple minutes later, he was like, "Oh snap!"
Oh, snap!
And then he caught him, which I feel like would hurt a lot more than it looked. But
No, he's
you know,
real
it's soft.
fluffy.
It's soft. It's
He's
soft.
very soft.
It doesn't smell like VO.
No,
You know,
it
a real
smells so
bison
bad.
would smell really bad.
Yeah,
a real
true.
bison would smell.
Angus
Still
to
love
talk
him.
about it.
I think he did.
Yeah,
Huh?
he did. He'd wash Appa and be like, "Oh, because you're too stinky to be around."
Yeah, it's a huge animal.
Quentin Miller goes, did the Red Lotus succeed in making Korra believe that there is no place for the Avatar
Yes,
anymore?
they did.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
After Amon, after Vatu, after Unalaq, and after the Red Lotus, she is defeated.
That's
But
true.
The whole point now is that she's gonna get her groove back.
That might
Right.
be one of the most real things that you'd ever see in a TV show. Like, cause usually they're like the hero, the heroine is always like, I'm gonna keep going. But in
Yeah.
real life, after Amon freaking like ridiculed me in front of the whole city, I would have been like, well, this Avatar thing was fun while I thought about
Yeah.
it. I don't know if I want to do this
Yeah.
anymore.
I get what you mean by it's really real because she does kind of give off a mild selfish kind of thing by running away essentially. We
6
think
months.
I
But
know.
she was like
Poisoned.
basically dead.
I know,
Yeah.
but I thought it was so strange that they believed, like Tenzin and the family believed that she was gonna come back finally, and what is it, Tonrock is like, oh, I thought she was already here. What are you guys talking about?
See,
and
there are no
Tenzin's
cell
like,
phones.
No.
Yeah, but there are phones.
There are phones.
Yeah.
And they're also, he said that she was writing him letters. I don't know how she got the letters over there, but point is she did it.
Yeah.
Carrier pigeon.
And if I was Tenzin, I'd be so mad. I'd be like, you haven't written me in 6 months, and I'm real
Aw.
upset.
That's true.
You remember that time I got beat up by Zahir? Don't you miss me?
Pretty much almost
Korra?
died. Pretty much died.
Actually, both of us got beat up
Yeah.
by Zahir.
yeah.
But she.
Yeah.
I want to see her get in a fight with all the Team Avatar because she's just pissed off and doesn't want to go back to doing whatever her responsibilities were before.
She is very...
Well, her role is confused.
She's the most anti-Avatar Avatar. Well, so is Aang a little bit. I didn't ask to be the Avatar. Yeah.
No, but Aang was young though. His journey
He's a
of
boy,
growing up.
yeah.
Like we could excuse him a little bit more. And Korra, who has all of the airbending masters being able to teach her, she kind of has no excuse to not be a good Avatar.
And
You
she
know what I
wanted
mean?
to be the Avatar.
Yeah, yeah. She knew it was her
She
destiny.
said, all I ever wanted to be the Avatar, but once you've been poisoned...
This is true. I'm
And-
being a little bit harsh on poor Korra.
And like,
I don't think
yeah.
any of us. We've
like,
never been anything like
I'd be
that
like, dude,
before.
they got a statue of you in the park now. They love you, Korra.
Avatar Park.
Korra Park.
Park.
Korra Park.
If they made a park after me, I'd be in the park every day feeding pigeons. Or whatever kind of pigeons they have in the Avatar world. Pigeon ducks.
Pigeon platypus.
Pigeon platypuses.
Pigeon
Platypus
cats.
ducks. Pigeon cats?
Pigeon cats. You
Pigeon
know,
cats.
They can
Worse.
just pick
Knowing
random
them,
animals
yeah.
and put them together.
They're like, what's the most opposite animal of this?
Hippo cows.
Hippo.
Hippo cows. That's a little similar.
Yeah. What do you guys think is going to happen in this season? What are we going to see with characters? What are we going to see
man.
with story? Maybe
There's
at
so
the end.
many characters.
I'm still not convinced that Kavira
Kavira.
Kavira.
is the ultimate.
You think there's
bad
somebody else?
Guy.
Yeah, she's probably
They
not the
said that
ultimate
there's
bad
going to be
guy.
a new villain. That's what was teased, is that there's going to be a new villain that we don't know about.
It does feel
That's what I'm
appropriate for it to
saying.
be Kavira, though.
But
Because she has
but-
so much power already.
But the Avatar writers, it's always the opposite of what it looks like. That's kind of how they do it.
I guess
Maybe.
The opposite
Unalaq
of what
was
it's looked
pretty
like.
confusing, or pretty confounding. Like, you didn't really think it was
Like,
Unalaq
it's,
until
the
halfway
first
through.
bad guy is
Zahir
never
was
really the
on
bad guy.
Zahir was pretty much explained the first episode, though.
Yeah, that's
So you
true.
don't
You're
know.
right, you're right, you're
You know.
right.
And she almost murdered all those people. All the bandits, remember that she was going to leave them there?
Yeah, she was gonna
if they
leave
didn't
them so
join
that
her?
the train-
Threatened it. She just threatened it.
It's
She
still
wouldn't
a
do
threat.
It. She would have got caught. I believe there's
something
something
else?
bigger at work
Something
here.
There could be. I
It's
would
Vatu.
very much
Again?
like. Yeah, he's back.
He's back.
And he's real
and
mad.
he'd say he can
Yeah.
correct you and say, evil can't be distinguished. I was always there, just smaller. That's what Vatu believes.
Wait, I have a question. Is this the very last series? Very last season of like Avatar in general?
Yeah, no, the
No.
creators. No, the creators said that this is the last
Avatar.
Avatar, but there will be comics still. There will be comics.
I haven't read a single one of the
Yeah, I
comics.
haven't
They're a
either,
little
and I
bit-
don't really
they're
want to
different.
start. I don't want to start.
I'm gonna start.
you
I
wanna
read a
start?
piece
I
of it
have
on
to
Tumblr.
read, and I'm reading other things.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I
maybe
gotta
after
read The
this,
Maze
maybe
Runner. I
book,
gotta
after
read-
book 4 ends.
I want to see some airbenders have some really cool airbender fights.
That's true. There were not too many
And more
bending
Rubits.
fighting scenes this episode.
Nope.
So
Since Kuvira? Kuvira showed herself to be like the freaking amazing earthbender. I gotta see somebody earthbend her back and beat her.
Maybe
we will.
it'll be
Her
Su
movements.
Yin.
She was like, ah.
Or finally, Korra will finally fight somebody and
Yeah.
beat them without having
Has
somebody
she
else.
ever beat anybody?
Amon was killed by his brother. Unalaq and Vatu were just kind of spirit bended into nothing.
And then,
And they wouldn't have been able to do that without Jinora.
everybody else. Wait, okay, we had Pili was killed by Suyin.
no.
No. Pali was killed
I mean,
by
technically,
Zahir.
she did.
Pili?
Oh,
No.
oh, right. Oh,
Pali was
yeah,
killed
yeah,
by
yeah,
Zahir.
She
you're
didn't
right.
even defeat Zahir. It was freaking all the other airbenders
And
together.
Yin was
That's
defeated.
true, because they did the-
Yeah, they just conquered.
Oh no, Korra.
So maybe she will finally beat somebody in this.
That's the real reason.
It's gonna be epic. This will be epic. That is the one thing we can say for sure.
I'm glad
This
we
will
didn't
be
wait.
epic.
I'm glad it's online too. It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
I
used
I
to
got a
hate
little
it, but I
chill,
like
you
it.
know what I'm saying?
Anyways, guys, that's the end of TV show for Legend of Korra, Season 4, Episode 1. I hope you enjoyed. We sure enjoyed this
We
episode.
sure as fuck enjoyed it.
Be sure to watch next week's episode on Nick.com. That's where we definitely
Watch it on
And
Nick.
anywhere else. Definitely is nowhere else on the internet.
Exactly. It's out on Friday, so you gotta
But
wait
please
till Friday.
watch it on Nick.
On Nick, please. And then send us your questions or comments or whatever on Twitter using the hashtag
TV
TV and we'll read them on this show.
And who do you want to see Tenzin rip his shirt off and beat by the end of the
I
season?
want 3
In this
shirts
season.
ripped off.
Yeah,
I want three shirts
shirt
Rip off
rips.
his and then his kids.
And-
That-
oh,
what?
okay, all right.
I don't know.
That got weird.
And then Varric will be there.
Yeah, maybe his shirt will get ripped off too.
Julie, rip my shirt
Off.
off.
yeah.